let's get started. Well, when you walk up to the crap game, where do you want to bet? Well, let's start with the meat and potatoes of the game. Our basic bets, and that's the pass line or the don't pass. And that's the beautiful thing about craps, is you could bet with the dice on the pass line or against the dice on the don't pass. Now, have you ever tried to cut your hair in the mirror? You know how you get disoriented? Well, I don't want to do that to you either. So let's master the pass line bet. But I do want you to take in consideration the don't pass, the opposite. Sometimes when the dice are cold, you need to go to what we call the dark side, which is the don't. But let's start with the pass line. Now when you walk up and you bet the pass line, there's one very important thing you want to look for. You want to look to see if we're starting a brand new game. Isn't that common sense? Even if you walked up to a blackjack table, aren't you going to look to see if the cards are out before you make your bet? Well, the same thing on craps. Before you walk up to the table and you make your pass line bet right here, here's what you want to look for that's telling you we're starting a brand new game. You want to look for this little marker right here. It looks like a hockey puck. And it's going to be sitting right here to the side of the table. And it's going to be in black. And it's going to say off, like the lights are off. Now this is called the come out roll. It's just what it sounds like. We're coming out, we're starting over. And that's when you want to make your pass line bet. Now on the come out roll, we have two numbers. If they roll, you're going to win instantly, automatically, immediately. Isn't that what you want? Or do you want to wait a while to win? No, you wouldn't want to win right away. And here's our two winning numbers on the come out roll, 7 or 11. Just like the convenience store, 7 or 11, every time the shooter, and in case you don't know who the shooter is, that's the person rolling the dice. Every time the shooter rolls a 7 or an 11, the dealer's going to pay you. And once the dealer pays you, your obligation is over. You can run off and go spend your money, or you can continue to gamble. So now we have our two instant winners on the come out roll. Now guess what? Just like we have two instant winners, we also have 3 instant losers. And they name these 3 losing numbers after the name of the game. They're called the crap numbers. And those 3 numbers are 2, 3, and 12. And a good way to remember the 3 crap numbers are, they're the 2 lowest numbers in the dice, 2 and 3, and the highest number in the dice, 12. Every time the shooter rolls a 2, 3, or 12 on the come out roll, well, you will lose your money here. And if you wish to continue, well, you need to dig up some more money and make another bet. Let's review what we have. On the come out roll, our 2 instant winners are 7 and 11. Our 3 instant losers are 2, 3, and 12. Now let's assume the shooter does not roll a winning number, a 7 or 11. Let's say they don't roll a losing number either, a 2, 3, or 12. Well, we only have 6 more numbers that are left on the set of dice, and they're all right here. You see, on a pair of dice, there's only the winners, 7, 11. There's only the losers, 2, 3, and 12, and there's these 6 numbers. There are no more numbers on a set of dice. So let's say they roll one of these 6 numbers. Here's an example. Let's say I'm the shooter, and I roll that number here, a 5. Once they roll one of these 6 numbers here, in this case, the point was 5, we take that marker, we go from off a number to on that number that rolled, the 5. This is called establishing a point. And once we establish a point, here's where the whole object of the game changes, as far as your bet's concerned here. Now, do you remember the crab numbers? They were once losers in the come out roll? Well, I want to get this straight, because people think crap numbers are big, bad voodoo numbers. Once we have a point, those crap numbers no longer matter. And do you remember the 11? Once we have a point, well, the 11 doesn't matter. It's not a winner, it's not a loser, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters when we establish a point is that you repeat that number that I marked right here, the 5, before the 7. Remember I said 7 was going to be a good number and a bad number? Once we have a point, 7 turns into the bad number and no other numbers matter. In other words, if that first roll was not a 5, let's say that first roll was a 6, then I would have marked the 6. And the object for you to win here is for you to repeat the number 6 before the 7. No other numbers would matter. Got it? Now, out of all the bets I'll be teaching you here, there's only one bet on this whole table that you cannot change your mind about. It's called a contract bet. And that's this bet right here. Once we have a point established, you cannot change your mind about that bet. It's like playing blackjack and getting a 16 and saying, 16, these are lousy cards. I want my money back. You can't do that. You got to play your hand out. Same thing on craps. Once we have a point established, you have to wait for that 6 to roll for you to collect. Or if the 7 rolls, you lose. Now let me tell you why you cannot change your mind about that one bet right there. On the come out roll, I don't know if you know this or not, but on the come out roll, the first roll, you have twice as many ways of winning that bet as you have of losing the bet. I'd call that a quality bet, wouldn't you? Well, let's take a look at what I'm talking about. On the come out roll, what are the 2 instant winners? 7 or 11. Well, let's take a look at how many ways or how many combinations you have of winning that first bet. On the come out roll, the 7 and 11, 7. 6 ways of rolling the 7. And the 11, there's 2 ways of rolling 11. That means you have 8 ways of winning. Let's take a look at how many ways you have of losing with the 3 crap numbers on the come out roll. The first crap number, 2, there's only 1 way to roll it. The second crap number, 3, there's only 2 ways of rolling it. And the final crap number, 12, only 1 way of rolling it. So what does that mean to you? That means on the come out roll, you have 8 ways of winning that bet with 7, 11. You only have 4 ways of losing that bet with 2, 3, and 12. Now once we establish a point, the odds are against you. It's easier to roll the one number that you don't want to see than any other number. And that's why you cannot change your mind about that bet. All right, now that we've mastered this, I want to get a fantasy game started